Thank you for viewing this voter education program of the League of Women Voters of Lackawanna County. We are here with candidates for Lackawanna County Sheriff in the 2021 general municipal election on November 2nd. The winner of this election will take office in January of 2022 for a 4-year term. Today, we are pleased to be able to speak to two candidates for Lackawanna County Sheriff: incumbent Mark P. McAndrew, the Democratic primary winner, and challenger Glenn Capman, the Republican primary winner. The sheriff is the chief law enforcement officer for the county. The sheriff oversees the county's law enforcement department, including deputies and administrative support. The sheriff may be called upon to serve subpoenas, protection orders, and other notices. Lackawanna County's League of Women Voters Vice President Patty Fowler will ask a few questions in an interview format. As is our customary procedure, we will interview candidates in alphabetical order. First will be Glenn Capman. Take it away, Patty. Thank you.
Welcome, Glenn.
Good morning, Patty. How are you?
Good, I'm good. How about you?
Good.
Can you please tell the viewers what are your qualifications for this job? What education, previously held offices, current employment and responsibilities, or community involvement do you feel is relevant to the office that you are seeking?
So I started with the Lackawanna County Sheriff's Office back in 1998 under the administration of John Szymanski. Through that, my qualifications and schooling, I was able to attend the Act 120 back in 1993, which is the police academy. Then in 1998, under Szymanski, I attended the Lackawanna County, or the Pennsylvania Sheriff's Academy. I'm sorry about that. Through the Act 2, through the Dickinson School of Law. And now currently I'm actually employed with the Lackawanna County Prison. And I just attended the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections Academy for a correctional officer. I have several certifications, continuing education through the PCCD, which is the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. And I have my firearms certification through the department, or through the NTOA, PCCD, and also the NTOA, which is the National Tactical Officers Association. Coming into this, I had the opportunity to earn the rank of corporal, and I had the responsibilities of handling a lot of stuff in the office: civil, criminal. I did warrants. I served PFAs. I had the opportunity to become part of a security commission for active shooter training throughout the county. I've also prepared and implemented the active shooter policies for Lackawanna County. So it's been fun. It's been a good ride, and I've learned a lot, and I've taught a lot.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's go on with the next one. What do you feel are your most pressing problems and needs facing in the office of the Lackawanna County Sheriffs? And what unique or innovative ideas do you have to address the problems and needs of the office?
I think one of the biggest problems with the office is the budget. The overtime in the office is out of control. We're, I believe, at 1.3 million over budget over the past couple of years. What I would do is actually cut back on the overtime by restructuring the office, putting deputies where they're utilized the best. Usually what happens is if somebody's assigned with somebody and they don't want to work with them, they call off. So what I would do is actually go to a bid process and actually let them choose where they want to be assigned. We would do this on a rotation. It's pretty similar to where the jail is down there and the way they do it. And it seems to work out pretty good. So I would actually implement something like that for the guys. It does two things. It brings morale up, and it also stops the guys from using it doesn't stop them. it lessens the opportunity for them to utilize their benefit time, like sick time, calling off sick all the time, just because they don't want to work with somebody. So I think one of the biggest things down there would be to cut back on the overtime, use guys in the strengths where they're more esteemed to be fit, and I think it would work out a lot better.
Okay, great. Thank you. Law enforcement has certainly been in the spotlight lately, related to issues of racial bias, use of force, and handling of mental health related incidents. Can you please speak to a few of these issues and share your approach?
Sure. One of the big things that I want to do is actually start a program to help bring our diverse youth into law enforcement. So I want to start a program which would actually bring them and try to bring the community together. And so we could bring more minorities into the office, get them the opportunity that they deserve. I believe one of the ways I want to do that is reaching out to businesses and ask them to sponsor. I don't want to say a young child or a young youth, but a young adult. Ask them to sponsor a young adult to actually give them an opportunity to come into law enforcement and attend police academies and stuff like that. Right now, I think the current cost for the Act 120 is $10,000 a year. Some of our less fortunate can't afford to go through those academies. So like I said, I would reach out to businesses and ask them maybe to sponsor. Or when the judges fine our attorneys for being late for court and stuff like that, and they hold sanctions against them, maybe we could work with the courts to actually give some money into a fund where we could actually help our young adults come in. By doing that, it does two things. It gives them an opportunity, first of all, to start a career instead of just having a job somewhere. It could actually open up doors for them for their future, their children and stuff like this. So by giving them that opportunity, it gives them a chance to come up with a decent career and helps them move into society a little bit better. We could get them out of maybe low income housing and actually into neighborhoods and work good with our society.
Okay, great. Thank you, Glenn. Next one, the taxpayers and all citizens of Lackawanna County expect ethical and transparent government. Can you speak about your concepts related to ethics and disclosure so that this elected public office can earn and deserve the confidence of the residents of Lackawanna County?
Sure. When it comes to ethics, I'm a firm believer in them. I don't believe in using county equipment for your personal use. I believe in having a transparent office, and I would open the doors to anybody. So, excuse me. One of my things is, I want to eliminate using take-home cars. There's no reason for that. I drive my own car to work as everybody else does. Why should I have the benefits of having a car that I could take home every day and utilize for my own personal gain, going here, going there? That's absolutely wrong. I also don't believe in running campaign events out of the office. It's illegal. You can't do that stuff. And with the ethics of it, I think it's imperative that it comes to an end. And I believe with the way I would handle stuff is, if you're going to do anything, it's on your time. You don't do stuff on public time. You don't go here, you don't go there, unless it's for a specific office function or something like that that has to deal with the office itself. You shouldn't be utilizing this stuff, especially with the equipment. There's no reason for that at all. When I say equipment, I mean cars, stuff like that. You're costing the taxpayer money by utilizing their gas, maintenance on the vehicles, and that's got to stop.
Okay, thank you, Glenn. In the way of a closing statement, is there anything else you would like to share with the voters heading into the polls on November 2nd?
One of my big things is, I'm not a politician. This is the first time I'm doing this. I've had a blast doing it. I want to see a new way of the office. I want to start programs for our office. I want to start a firearm safety course for anybody who applies for a gun permit, not mandatory, optional, at no cost to the at no cost to the taxpayers. If you live in the county, it would be free. If you live outside the county and you're applying in, you want to go through it, maybe we could put some kind of charge there, to offset costs or whatever. Another program that I'd like to start is obviously the adopt a law enforcement officer, which I was just speaking about earlier. I think it's time that the communities start coming together and we get rid of that segregation between law enforcement and our communities. And then one of the last things I'd like to do is actually start patrols into our rural areas that doesn't have police coverage. The state police is covering, I believe, probably around, in Lackawanna County, maybe 10, 15 not counties, boroughs. I would like to actually work side by side with them and help relieve them of certain stuff, like the minor stuff that they get tied up on. If they live in Thornhurst and they got to respond to Springbrook, it could be 30, 35 minutes to respond, where I could put deputies in that area to handle all the minor stuff, and the response time could be 5 minutes. So like I tell everybody, I said, think about it this way. You got your children are at home by themselves. Somebody's banging on the door. Do you want to wait 15 or 40 minutes for the state police to get there? Or do you want to wait 5 minutes for my guys to get there? Which could stop whatever happens. It's like I said, it's time that we start working together and not against each other. I want to have a cooperative working relationship with all the police departments, and I'm not looking to take over police departments. I'm looking to assist. And I think we could actually do that. And I think it's time that we make that step forward.
All great ideas, Glenn. Thank you. We have been speaking to Glenn Capman, candidate for Lackawanna County Sheriff in the 2021 general election on November 2nd. Good luck, Glenn.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. We will now speak with Mark P. McAndrew. Welcome, Mark.
Good morning. Thank you.
Mark, can you please tell the viewers what are your qualifications for this office? What education, previously held offices, current employment and responsibilities, or community involvement do you feel is relevant to the office you are seeking?
Okay, well, I've been in the Lackawanna County Sheriff's Office for 31 years. I'm currently the Lackawanna County Sheriff and have been in that position for 8 years. Are you asking me my prior experience?
Sure. Current employment and responsibilities, community involvement, whatever you feel is relevant.
Okay, I've been a police officer for 24 years. I've been an elected official. I served on council for Archibald Borough in the early 2000s. I was a member of the Mayfield Borough Planning Commission. I currently hold the roles of an advisor to both the Taylor and Old Forge Civil Service Commission. We interview candidates for full-time police officer positions.
Okay, great. What do you feel are the most pressing problems and needs facing in the office of the Lackawanna County Sheriff? And what unique and innovative ideas do you have to address the problems and the needs of the office?
Well, manpower is an issue. I think it's an issue all over, but we've expanded so much since I've been the sheriff. We went from the administration building to the Lackawanna County Government Center. We made a seamless transition there. We then opened up the Criminal Justice Center, Lackawanna County Criminal Justice Center, over on Wyoming Avenue, so we had a transition from the courthouse over to there. When the Doolittle Detention Center closed, the Court of Common Pleas entrusted me and my staff of taking over all the operations there, so that's a 24/7 operation. We also, our processing center is a 24/7 operation over at the Criminal Justice Center. We are also entrusted with taking over the domestic relations warrants. So I've expanded the warrant division, and now we have a 6-member division, which includes the domestic warrants. We've never had that before. And we also, at the request of the Court of Common Pleas, we provide security at all the magistrates' hearings during their hearings, their summary hearings, and all other types of miscellaneous hearings they have. So manpower would be an issue, number one, because we've expanded and gotten busier in every aspect of the office. I'm not sure if there's an easy solution to that, but I'm just telling the people out there how much we've expanded and how much more responsibility we have in the office. And my staff has done a wonderful job doing that.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, law enforcement has certainly lately been in the spotlight related to issues of racial bias, use of force, handling of mental health-related incidents, cooperation with federal government. Can you please speak to a few of these issues and share your approach?
Well, I think the best way to approach all those items is training. And since I've been in office, I've sent my deputies to numerous trainings that address all the items that you just referred to. So I think the best way to address that is through training. I mean, we've had cultural diversity training. We've had decision-making and use of force training. We had de-escalation training. We had street survival training. So we've had a multitude of trainings that address these issues that are such a concern to people. So I think training is the best way to combat that, so they have a better idea of how to deal with situations that they may encounter. And we've had plenty of my staff has been trained in several of the items that you just mentioned.
Okay, great, thank you. The taxpayers and all citizens of Lackawanna County expect ethical and transparent government. Can you please speak about your concepts related to ethics and disclosure so that this elected public office can earn and deserve the confidence of the residents of Lackawanna County?
I believe in transparency. And anything ethical. I mean, I believe my office is very professional. I believe we're very transparent. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes. Yes.
I'll let my record speak for itself. I've been transparent in any issue that's been addressed about me or my office. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, other than, I mean, anything that's been asked of me, I've been upfront and transparent.
Okay,
That's
great.
what you're asking.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So for the last one, in the way of a closing statement, is there anything else that you would like to share with the voters heading to the polls on November 2nd?
Sure. Well, as I said before, since I've been in office, my office has expanded so greatly, whether it be the civil division, I expanded the warrant division, I've expanded the real estate division. I mentioned the 5 new duties that we've taken over within the last couple of years. And I think my staff has been tremendous. They've really worked hard and they got the job done. But I also want to speak about the revenue that's been generated in the office. Since I've expanded these divisions, for example, in the warrant division, we have a fines and cost division. Since I've expanded that division over the past 4 or 5 years, we collected $1.2 million for the taxpayers. since I've expanded the real estate division, we've collected $1.4 million in delinquencies. Okay. We work closely with the Tax Claim Bureau because in order for these properties to go on the tax roll, they have to be served with tax papers. And we've been doing that since I've took office. And we've collected over $300 from the Tax Claim Bureau to get the process going to get these properties on the tax roll. Okay. We've transported in excess of 12,000 prisoners for the last 4 years. We've made trips outside of Lackawanna County just in 2019, 789 trips. Okay. Our juvenile division, since we took over in March of 2019, we've transported 172 juveniles. Okay. And by the way, since we took that operation over, 60% of the cost of the transports goes back to Lackawanna County and they get reimbursed for that. The domestic warrants, the cost of us going out looking for and executing these domestic warrants, the county gets reimbursed 66% back to the county. Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that we do generate a lot of money for the office, and we are a very busy office, and we are a highly trained and professional office. Okay. We've offered active shooter training for all county employees and several businesses in Lackawanna County. Between my office, which I have 6 members trained in ALICE, which stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Escape, the District Attorney's Office, and the SWAT, which I have 6 members attached, we've developed one of the best active shooter policies out there. So right now, we're in the process of getting something together with Marywood University. So my goal is the safety of the public and to generate as much money as I can for the taxpayers. And I think we've accomplished that during my tenure. And I would hope that the voters, when they look at this, they would consider to re-elect me come November 2nd.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mark. These are all great things. We have been speaking to Mark P. McAndrew, candidate for Lackawanna County Sheriff in the 2021 general election on November 2nd. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.